Hey guys, Carl from Purple Moose Plays. Today I'm taking a preview look at a prototype copy of Wastelandia, the upcoming game coming soon to Kickstarter from designer Drew Williams and publisher Back to Basics. This is a solo co-op dice-driven boss battler kind of game in which you're progressing through a series of 4 battles against various baddies set in a sort of 90s comic book cartoon style wasteland post-apocalyptic world. Rolling dice to sort of match certain numbers, match certain sets of numbers to activate abilities, activate items to defeat the baddies while dealing with fear and damage that's coming back to you as well. Disclaimer, as a preview of a prototype copy, obviously I've been given this prototype copy from the designer for this video, but as always I will do my best to give you my own honest opinion on the game. With that said, let's head down to the table to see how this one plays solo, and then I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think. To set up a solo game of Wastelandia, begin first by selecting the characters you are going to play with in your game. Now for a solo game, despite playing as one player, you do need to play with 2 characters. So for my video today, I'm going to be playing with first Wicked Willow. And you'll see here, I'm not going to explain everything to you as shown here, but she shows here the different sort of stats about this character: complexity level 3, attack level 5, support 3, and randomness 2. So she's pretty low randomness, high attack kind of character. This is sort of some more explanation of how each of her sort of items and abilities work, but I'll explain those myself as we get into gameplay. The second character I will be playing with for this playthrough is Crazy Carl, because how could I not? Need to change these into some K's, but otherwise, yay. Crazy Carl is the second character. Complexity level 4, attack level 4, support level 4, so sort of all around but complex. Randomness 3, so he's a little bit more random than Wicked Willow, but not by much. So I'm going to set this out as well. Next, we're going to take the game book itself here, the battle book as it's written there, placing this out onto the table. And to start the game, you will open up to this first battle, battle number 1, the Clanks Emerge. And I'll explain what all that is in just a minute as I finish with setup. The last piece of sort of board that will need to be out on the table is this power cube board, which I will set up in just a minute because the way that gets set up is going to be based on the difficulty level of the game, and I sort of want to put everything out on the screen and then go ahead and set everything up. I'm going to then place out this little baggie here. Inside this bag there are sort of tokens that say A, B, and C, and those are going to sort of activate the baddie's abilities as we get into gameplay, so I'll just throw that over here and I'll pull that on as needed. Next, I'm going to place out the supply of dice, and each character will get 5 dice sort of as a standard. That will change depending on some things that happen during gameplay, but for right now, I'm going to place out 5 dice on each of the characters' boards. Up in this empty space up top, I've got the fear tokens. These are double-sided with 1 fear on one side and 5 on the other. Placing those out like that. A variety of other tokens that I will use in just a second. I'm just going to place them there to have them sort of available to me on screen, and I'll explain what they are and where they go in just a second. And then finally up at the top as well, these are not going to come into play until after we finish our first battle, but I've got these reward cards, item cards, and weapon cards, and those again will come into play after our first battle when we do level up our characters. There's also this sort of player aid card that shows some common terms that you'll see in some of the abilities, and also as a reference for all of the icons. I'm actually going to leave this off screen because I can sort of explain everything and don't really need that anymore, and there's not a whole lot of space on the screen anyway. And then finally, I'm going to place out the power cubes. And to start, before I make any sort of adjustments based on difficulty, I'm going to place out 12 of these into the slots on this card. And with that, we are sort of all set up for the game, except that we need to sort of set the enemy's health, we need to set our character's health, and we need to set the power cubes all matching the difficulty level. It's listed in the rulebook, but it's also printed here on the back of the battle book. And while I have been playing this game quite a bit, I am getting slowly a little bit stronger and stronger and stronger. So we're going to be playing under tough difficulty level, but sort of the hardest version of tough, which is Crud Cruncher. It says all baddies start with tough health, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. All players start with -5 health, and I'm going to start the game with -3 of these power cubes. So I'm going to remove 3 of these cubes. And now to set the player health at the beginning, I'm going to take these player health tokens. Normally, as printed on the book, or on the board, sorry, you start with 15 health, but because I'm playing on this difficulty level, we're actually going to start at 10 health for both of my characters. And then opening that battle book back up again, like that, you'll see that at certain locations on the baddie health track, there are listed or labeled Wimpy, Tough, Fierce, and Elite. We are playing at tough difficulty, or tough sort of difficulty category, so both of these 2 baddies will start at 15 health. So I'm going to pull out the baddie 1 and 2 tokens, marking baddie 1 at 15 health and baddie 2 at 15 health, like that. Otherwise, the only other tokens we need potentially are these use tokens for when I use abilities. And right now we also need this active ability arrow. There's only one set of abilities for this enemy type, so I'm just going to place that there for now, and I'll show you what that means in just a second as we get into gameplay. But first things first, let's get into the story. Battle number 1, the Clanks emerge. Things have been mellow in Wastelandia for a hot minute. Bored to death, you and your home slices are throwing stuff at other stuff and breaking things with other things. Check this out, I bet you I can hit that bottle first try. With your aim, you couldn't hit that bottle if it was the size of a school bus. You throw a rock and miss wildly. It whizzes over a bush and you hear a loud clank. The bush shakes and something emerges. Ah, what the flip? Are those clank bots? Clankbot looks like a toaster oven learned how to walk. They send tracking signals to deathbots, dude. Psh, deathbots, smethbots, big whoop. Yeah, they're only military death machines that blow everything to bits. Is it too late to run?
Weak humans detected. Stab sequence initiated.
Just a hunch, but I think they see us. We better bust them up before they alert any big bot baddies. So it says here, Clankbot profile. Janky robots built by deathbots to locate humans for extermination. Danger, pointy cutlery. Weak areas, extremely slow moving, crumbles like a house of cards, and a walking pile of junk. So it says here my victory condition is I need to defeat both Clankbots in 6 turns or less, and afterwards we'll go to the loot phase if I manage to do so. There is no extra setup or rules for this battle. The optional challenge says that if I can beat them in 4 turns or less, I'm going to get a special reward or super reward instead of my regular reward at the loot phase. So a game of Wastelandia is going to play out over 4 increasingly difficult battles, assuming that you survive through them, and if you're able to defeat the final boss, means the 4th battle, you will have won the game, potentially dying along the way, of course. And each battle is going to play out in a maximum of 6 turns, as marked here in the victory condition. And in each turn, we're going to start first by drawing 1 token from this bag that shows us what the baddies are going to be doing that turn. Then whoever's turn it is for that turn will take their turn. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. And then after the character takes their turn, the baddies will activate whatever ability it said that they were going to. And then that's repeated, moving to the next player, drawing a tile, or a token, sorry, labeling the action or ability for the baddie, that character taking their turn, baddie activating, and so on. And after 6 of those turns, if we haven't beaten that battle, we will have lost the game. So it's not just about dying, because if we do die, if one of us ever does completely lose all of their health, that also triggers the end of the game. But even if we don't die, if we're not able to win a battle within 6 turns, then we also lose the game. So rather than trying to explain all of how this game works before taking the first turn, I'm going to sort of take the first turn and show you how it works as I am taking the turn. And then to decide who goes first in the first round, it's sort of randomly determined, or you can kind of choose who goes first. I'm going to take a die. If it's 1, 2, or 3, Wicked Willow will go first. If it's 4, 5, or 6, Crazy Carl will go first. Rolling, and we get a 5. All right, so Crazy Carl's going first. First step, again, draw a token from this bag. And that token is letter A. So I'll stick that over here. Right here is a good way. I'm going to track 6 of those because each turn will pull one of those. And that means for this turn, A is active, which is shin kicks. And this says, at the end of this turn, you, meaning the person whose turn it is, will get 2 times the number of 2s and 5s I have showing on my dice at the end of this turn. So if all of these dice are 2 or 5s, they would take 10 damage, which in the current situation would kill this character. But I'm going to have my turn to do damage against the clank bots, but also to sort of manipulate my dice and do things to make that less painful. It's also worth mentioning, because there are 2 clank bots, and this is what a clank bot is going to do, that means both of them will do this thing. So if he had 1, 2, and 1, 5, that would be 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 because there are 2 bots. So at the start of a player's turn, you're going to roll all 5 dice. And then I'm going to be able to assign these dice to the different abilities. But while I'm rolling at any time, including right now, I can spend power cubes to re-roll as many or as few of these dice as I'd like to. So I could hold on to 4 of them and re-roll 1. I could re-roll all 5 of those. It all depends on what I'm aiming for and how well the roll went. And I can do that as many times as I want to, spending 1 power cube every time I re-roll the dice. And that's true for any ability that asks me to roll a die as well. So if I roll a die as part of an ability, I can also spend those power cubes to continue re-rolling in the same way. So let's look at all of the things that Crazy Carl has. First, starting down here with the basic abilities. Basic abilities are going to be the same for all characters. This requires an even number. This is healing. Uses an even number, and it basically heals me, this character, as many points as the value of that even die that's placed there. Courage is the same thing, except it's removing fear from me equal to the value, and the value has to be odd in this case. And finally, this power ability allows me to place any die and gain 1 power cube for placing there. However, if I place a 6 there, I will gain 2 power cubes instead of 1. So while I'm here, healing makes sense, power makes sense. So what is fear, and why do I care about getting rid of it? Fear is sort of a multiplier and not really a multiplier, an addition to the amount of damage that any character or baddie is taking. So however much fear a character or baddie has, when that character or baddie is damaged by an attack, they will add a number of damage equal to the number of fear that they have at that time. So right now, if I hit this baddie for 1 damage, it would take 1 damage. But if, say, it had 5 fear, and I did 1 damage, I would actually be doing 6 damage because of that fear. So it's a kind of way that we can build the strength of our attacks by adding in fear on the enemies. But we're also going to be taking the same thing, and by having fear, it means their attacks are deadlier as well. So looking at some other things, everybody's going to start with a stick. A stick will take any die, but when you place that die, as shown by this reroll symbol here, after placing the die, I need to roll that die. And it says here, if the value of that die is 3 or higher, I will deal 1 damage. Remembering that if the value of that die is not 3 or higher, I could always spend a power cube to re-roll it and potentially get above a 3 the next time. Doing that as many times as I want to, so long as I'm okay spending power cubes. And again, everybody is going to have that stick. But let's look at Crazy Carl's abilities here. He's got super high tops that are an assist ability. I have to place any 2 dice that are matching. And what this does is it adds 2 power cubes from the reserves to this card. And when another player rolls dice, they can spend those power cubes to change the value of a die by 1. Whereas normally the power cubes would force you to re-roll, this sort of gives you a little bit more flexibility about how you're changing or how you're altering your dice. Next we've got Battle Cart Fury Road. Also requires any 2 dice that are matching. And this is going to give 2 fear to all baddies. So both of them would get 2 fear. But it also says all players roll any one of their dice. And this is important when it says any dice. Could be dice that were already assigned to something, or could be dice that you still have available. So it could let you change a die potentially to do something else, But also, for example, if I place 2 5s on there and I don't want to get hit by that, I could roll one of the things that I've placed there to change the value so that it doesn't do that, or so that it works with something else that I'm doing that requires showing dice. And you'll see that in just a minute. But it also says when you roll that die, any player who rolls 3 or less must gain 2 fear. So this is causing fear, but potentially also causing fear to us as well. Next, we've got Spike Gloves 1-2 Punch. Takes any die, and it's going to cause a number of fear to any one baddie equal to the number of 1s and 2s that are showing at the time you activate this. So right now, if I place that 1 there, there's 1 showing. But even if I place that 5 there, there's still 1 showing. Showing just means anywhere played or unplayed on that character's board. Finally, the Tripod Turret says Eat BBs. This requires a 3 to shoot, and it's going to do 2 damage to a number of enemies equal to the total number of 3 valued dice showing on the board. So right now, if I activated this, I can't hit anybody because I don't have any 3s at all. But anyway, I couldn't activate it at all because this requires a 3 as well. Now I do have 2 4s that could activate either of those. I do see that I need to heal for sure. I wouldn't mind getting some power cubes. So realistically, I think I'm gonna stay with what I've got. But let's see how things work out. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me go over Wicked Willow's abilities as well so you can sort of start working on the collaboration between the two of them. Wicked Willow has a fanny pack yin yang that lets her flip the die that's placed on this card to the opposite side and then reuse that die. So basically it's a one use, change a die to its opposite value before using it. And that's why we have these use tokens, because that die won't stay on there, but it is only able to be used once, so I need to be able to mark that as such. We've got CD Shuriken's multi-throw. This is fear-based. Again, anything that's purple is fear-based. These orange ones are assist. These kind of reddish ones are attack powers. Her CD Shuriken's multi-throw says she's going to place a 4 there, and then she has to roll that die. And if that die shows 2, 3, or 4, she will deal 1 fear to a baddie, to one baddie. If that die shows a 5 or a 6, she will still deal 1 fear to a baddie, but she gets to roll again and do one more time the same ability. So as long as she's rolling 5s and 6s, we can keep rolling and doing more fear. And again, every time she rolls, she could spend power cubes to continue rolling more. Next, Smoke Bomb's Escape. Any 2 dice that are matching and then any 1 die that could be matching. She's going to heal everybody, means me and Carl, or Willow and Carl, 3 times the number of matching dice that are on here. And there have to be 2 matching dice on there to even activate it. So it's going to be at least 6, maybe 9 health, depending on if that 3rd die is matching or not. And then everybody, including the baddies, will also gain 1 fear. Next, her special attack right now, bow and arrows, requires a 3, focused shot. And that's basically going to do 2 damage to 1 enemy. But if the total of all of her dice summed together is equal 12 or less, that's going to do 8 damage instead of 2, which is a huge hit, but 12 or less is very low on those dice. So we'll see how that plays out. In any case, I've already rolled over here, so let's go ahead and activate some stuff. I want double 4s on there. All players roll any of their dice. I'm going to roll this 1 because I don't want to roll the 5 or 6 right now, and you'll see why in a second. I got a 4. Then, any player who rolls 3 or less must gain 2 fear. So she's going to roll as well. She got a 3, so she's gaining 2 fear. He does not, but all baddies gain 2 fear as well. So 2 there, 2 there like that. All right, then I don't want 5s or 2s. So far there's no 2s. There's a 5. He's going to take 2 damage twice as 4 damage. But I do want to heal. I'm going to heal. That has to be even. Putting a 6 there goes up to... No, you know what? I'm just going to heal for 4. Going up to 14. Because I want to put the 6 there so I can get 2 power cubes for future use. And this 5 I'm going to place here, which means I have to re-roll it. I got a 4, which is higher than a 3. It doesn't matter, they're both the same, but he's doing 1 plus 2 damage. Let's take out baddie 2. 1, 2, 3, down to 12 health. That's the end of his turn. Ability triggers 2x. Numbers of 2s and 5s, there aren't any. He takes no damage. That's the end of the turn. Coming back to Wicked Willow. She draws a C. C says spin slice. They're doing 2 damage to everyone. Both of us are going to take 2 damage regardless of what happens. Of course, plus the number of fear that we have. Rolling her dice. 1, 2, 2, 5, and 6. So that's 5 and 10. This 6 is too much, but if I flip that 6 to a 1, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is under 12. I can do 8 damage there. Problem is, that doesn't kill them. That's only 10. I need 2 more fear. And none of them is a 4 either. And she should heal too. I'm going to spend a power cube and re-roll this 5 and 6 with the hope of getting a 3 and or 4, because I need a 3 to activate that as well. There's my 4. That's a 6 that doesn't help me, because now that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But if I do that, I could potentially 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If that's a 3 or lower, yeah, but that's not going to help. So let's do this. I place these 2 2s and this 1 here. 2 are matching, means I get 3 times 2 is 6 health for her. 6 health for him goes up to 20. Everybody gets a fear. And then I'm going to attack him, rolling this. I get a 1, which fails, but I'm going to keep going. There's a 6. Means 1, 2, 3, 4 goes down to 8. Then I can either fear or attack again. I'm going to use this 4 here, flipping it to a 3, using it to attack. Unfortunately, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is not 12 or less. So I'm only doing 2. Plus 3 is 5. They go down to 3 health. And that means that they're attacking both for 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5 twice. Ouch, that goes down to 6 health. That's a problem. He gets 2, plus 1 is 3, twice is 6. He's down to 14. Back to him for his next turn. B. All right, not bad. They're not attacking. They're going to give 2 fear to him at the end of this turn, which is not a huge deal, especially since he only has 1 left. All right, I've got 3, 3, 6, 4. Ooh, that's great, because with 2 3s, I can hit for 2 against 2 people, killing one and doing lots of damage to the other. And I got 2 4s, which means I can add some fear. 6 could go here, but I don't have any 1s and 2s to do any special stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6 to heal here to 20. Then I'm going to use my 2 4s here. I don't want to mess up those 3s, so I'm going to roll one of those. There's a 4, no fear for me. Rolling for her. That's a 1. She gets 2 more fear. Ouch. So I'll flip one of those to a 5, like that. But that means they both get 2 fear as well. 1, 2. Yeah, anyway, that's 5, flipping that. I don't care here because 3's going there. I've got 2 3s showing, so I can hit 2 targets. He's dead for sure, because he only had 3 anyway. So he's KO'd. And then this guy's getting 2 plus 5 is 7, goes down to 8. And then I'm going to attack one more time here. 5 is higher than a 3, so he's hitting for 1 damage plus 5 is 6. This guy goes down to 2. And I've only got 1 bot left doing 2 fear to this guy like that. Moving to turn 4, back to Wicked Willow. She's pulling an A. Means he's going to do double damage times the number of 2s and 5s she has left at the end of this turn, but I'm hoping to kill him since he only has 2 life left. I want to get rid of fear, and I want to heal. Let's see what we get. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Save that 3 for an attack. I don't have anything matching, so I can't do the big heal, but that's okay. I'll do 5. Healing has to be even. 6 there to heal up to 12. 5 there to remove my 5 fear and prep for the next battle. Then, actually, no, undo that 6 healing, because if I go here and flip that, means that's used. 1 and 1 plus 2 goes there. So that's 2 times 3 is still 6 healing, but both of them get 6 healing. Like that. That does mean everybody gets a fear, but that's okay. Like that. He's going to need to get rid of fear later, but anyway, she attacks for 2. Hold on, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She attacks for 8, 9, 14. He's very dead. And that is only 4 turns, so we do get the super reward in the next loot phase. All right, then clearing off the tokens, putting the fear away, putting these back into the bag, and moving these out of the way for a minute, we move into our first loot phase. And the loot phase is the back of this book. The way that the loot phase is going to work is first I'm going to place out 1 reward card at random in each of those slots, 1 turn order token in each of those slots at random, then an item in these 2 slots and a weapon in these 2 slots. And then I'm going to be able to choose 1 grouping of reward, weapon, and turn order for each of my characters. So let me go ahead and shuffle these, place all of those out. All right, then we've got, remembering we beat the last characters in 4 turns, so we do get the super reward. So let me go ahead and explain the 4. This one super reward says, during the next reroll phase, I can use the power cubes to change a die by 3 instead of re-rolling. The bunch of nails takes a 1 and actually takes 2 power cubes, but what it does is it gets me double the strength of whatever my next attack is this turn. So I can double the power. For example, if I got her 8, I could make that a 16 attack, which is huge, and that gets you first player as well. The next grouping would gain 10 health, 3rd turn order, and this requires an odd die, this mini scooter, whee! And it gets you 3 times health of the value there, so up to 5 because it has to be odd, so it could get you 15 healing. That's huge healing, but she's already got pretty big healing for both of them. I'm not too worried about that unless everything else is not great. Here the super reward says roll a die and place it here, and then in the next battle, not next turn, if it was regular it would be next turn, but next battle, I'm going to include it as dice showing. Now remember, he gets here, if I have 3s showing or 1s and 2s showing, he gets special stuff. She does not want that because adding more to her dice showing means this is less likely to hit under 12. But he might like that. It comes with a slingshot rapid fire. It requires a 3 as well, which isn't great because he has one that already requires a 3. But this likes multiple 3s, so it's not horrible. I'm going to re-roll that die after I place it there and keep rolling until I roll a 1. And the number of times that I've rolled the dice is going to be the value of the damage it does against 1 target. It does say no abilities or re-rolls are allowed, so I have to only do it until I naturally roll a 1, and I can't not roll the 1 by spending a power cube. Finally, over here, super reward, your next turn, any damage dealt to you is reduced by 1. For 1 turn, that's not great. 4th in turn order, dynamite, requires a 4, does 2 damage to every enemy, but it says if you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 showing, then you deal 10 instead of 2. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is pretty unlikely. I'm thinking that I like the bunch of nails for her. And I'm thinking that I like the slingshot for him. Yeah, let's do that. She gets the bunch of nails, which means she will be going first in turn order. And this sends, again, during the next reroll phase, she can use cubes to change a die by 3 instead of rerolling. which means if I roll something high, I could use that to make it go lower so we could hit big there and then potentially hit huge with that. He's going second, which of course he is because she's first and we only have 2 characters, so any of them would have been second. He's going to roll a die and place it there. Next battle, which will happen in just a second, he's getting this slingshot, which means he does really want 3s moving forward. These go away, and all of these get discarded. So those I'm just going to stick right there. And those are off the screen kind of for you, but yeah, you get it. All right, now, normally what's going to happen here is I'm going to roll a die, and based on the die result, I'm going to move on to the battle that matches the die result. Here, battle 2, here's battle 3, and here's battle 4, the final battle. However, for this video, I've been asked to do specific battles, so we are moving on to Mutant Mischief, which would have happened if I rolled a 5 and a 6. So Mutant Mischief, page 7 to 8. Battle 2, Mutant Mischief. Those clanks were a piece of cake, but who knows if they managed to send a signal to any deathbots before you smashed them to bits. The group is debating about what to do next. You guys really worried about some stupid bots? We crushed those clanks. The big bad bots can't be much tougher. Deathbots are military grade. They'll crush you into dust. Psh, bring it on. A little while later, you hear strange voices and cackling laughter. A gang of mutants.
What are you staring at? You think you're special because you got 2 legs?
Yeah, you think you're real cool because you don't eat garbage?
What? No.
I know your type. You think you're super rad because you got a skeleton and fingernails.
Fingernails?
Get 'em!
All right, so victory condition here says we've got to defeat both slime bags and the rat kid in 6 turns or less. And if we do, we go to loot phase. If we don't, we lose the game. No extra setup, no extra rules. Optional challenge. First 2 players battle must remove 7 health or set their health to 1 at the start of their turn. That would put her at 5 and him at 19. 19 I don't mind, but her going down to 5 at the start of this battle is not great. I'm not going to push myself. I've already increased the difficulty higher than I've played before, so I'm not going to push myself to do more. So we'll skip the optional challenge. All right, I've got 2 slime bags, so I need baddie 1 and baddie 2 both start at tough, means 18 health for each of them. And I'm going to need an active ability over here in just a second. And then baddie 3 is this guy over here. Tough starts at 22. Wicked Willow is going first. We're pulling from the bag again. And we're starting with an A. So this gets set at A, and also now Rat Kid gets set at A. Slime bag is stuck in the slime. It says quick, means it happens right now, not after my turn. I can't use re-rolls on any ones that I rolled. Okay, not horrible, because she likes low numbers for her. Arrows and that number 1 could double that power. Then Rat Kid says he's giving 4 fear to all players with 12 or more health, which is both of us because there's no way she's losing health right now. Okay. And again, remembering during this reroll phase right now, I can use those to change dice by 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 2. That's great because that means powerful attack. That also means big hits. Double 8 is 16. If I can put 2 fear on those guys, which I can do, yeah, I'm going to kill a slime. All right, so 4 goes to the shurikens, which means that gets rolled again. There's a 5, that's 1 fear. There's a 2, that's another fear, and stop rolling, and that's great because that's low value. That's not used. So 2 fear on 1 of the slime bags, like that. Then I'm going to put this 1 here with 2 power crystals, power cubes, sorry, which doubles the next ability. I'm going to use that 3. We're definitely under 12 total because we've got 2, 4, 6, 9, 10. So that's 8 doubled to 16, 17, 18, and slime bag 2 is dead. So those go away. Then I don't have enough dice for smoke bombs. I don't care about 1 fear. She's about to get a whole lot more. So I'm going to heal for 2. Yeah? No, I'm going to attack, but let me Do that to get a power cube back. Healing for 2 is not really all that important. And nobody's going to hit a lot. He's got 1 all or 6 U, and it won't be her turn. U won't be her until she has a chance to heal again. So I'm going to do that too, actually, to attack one more time, fighting the rat kid. But that's just 1 damage. That's stupid. Yeah, no. 2 heals. And that goes away. Like that. Then he's doing 4 against every player with 12 or more. That means both of them. So he's not 8, he goes to 9. No, 4, 8. He went from 4 to 8 is what I meant to say. So that's, no. That's right. 8. She's going from 1 to 5, like that. His turn, pulling from the bag, is B. Soul-consuming stench from the slime bags. Quick, at the start of the turn, place 3 from your supply onto each slime bag. He's dead. If I hit the slime bag this turn, I will get 1 back. When I've killed it, I will get them all back. Not a big deal. Just means not a lot of rerolls right now. Rat Kid is going to do 1 damage to everybody plus fear, of course, which kind of sucks for her now. But it is what it is. Those can clear off. Then for him, he's got this ability for the entire battle that he's getting 1 extra thing there. A 1 or a 2 would be nice. A 3 is not bad. Yay, there's a 1. Which means that this is always doing 1 additional fear to whatever we actually did. But I need to work on getting rid of some fear. All right, that's a great roll. 3, 3, 5, 6, 6. I want 3s to attack, which is great because there's an attack and there's an attack. I want to get rid of some fear. And I think those 6s are going to be this, to give some fear to people. All right, anyway, first 5 is get rid of 5 fear. Then, double 6s at any's gets 2 fear for this guy. And 2 fear, oops, over here, like that. Then I'm doing this. I can hit as many targets as I have 3 showing, which is 2. So 2 of them get 2. 2 and 2 is 4, goes to 18. 2 and 2 is 4, goes to 14, like that. And I get 1 of those back because I hit him. Then my last one is going to be this slingshot, which means I keep rolling until I hit a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I am attacking him because he's the one hurting me. 6, 7, 8, 9, this is great. 10, 11, all right, this is crazy. 12, 13, ones don't come out. 14, 15 times. Yeah, it says the amount of rolls, so that's 15. 16, 17, and that's exactly how much he has left. That is an amazing attack. Slingshot, 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 slingshot. He's done. Means that's not happening anymore. Those are gone. That was an amazing turn. Nothing's happening here because that was a soul-consuming stench that already happened. Back to Willow. Pulling from the bag. C. All right, so the slime looks like they don't hurt me, so it's just a matter of doing enough damage to kill them. This is going to heal the slime for 2 times the number of unique dice values I have showing at the end of this turn. So up to 10 healing. Yeah, let's smash him. All right, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. I have the 3. I'm not going to be able to hit for 8 because there's no way I'm getting those down low enough that I want to anyway. Hold on. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, no way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I flip that, it's a 10. I'd need to get that to a 2. Could do. But then I'm not removing much fear. You know what? Let's see what happens. I'm going to put this 5 here. Not yet. Hold on, I forgot something. All players must roll from that fear that I did. So let's see what he got. A 2. So he does have 2 more fear. And that's a 5. And I didn't roll for her, remembering that's a 5. Yeah, she's safe. And it's a 5 anyway. So first thing I'm going to do is here. See these shurikens? Rolling this is a 1. That stinks because that gets me nothing. Rolling again. 1, 2, 3. Fear on him, so he's at 5. Then I'm going to do a 5 here because if this hits a 2 or a 1, but then he'll miss. Hold on, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if this hits a 3, that's perfect. It's a 4. I'm going to let it ride. 4 means 1 damage and 5 damage is 6. This goes down to 8 like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. There's no way to get low enough. So forget it. They're going to heal, but that's okay. I do this 3 for 2 and 5 is 7. They're down to 1 health. Not enough to kill them, unfortunately. And I'm not getting these back because as far as I know, that only happens when I hit them during a B turn. Then I might as well heal for 6. Yeah, do I care if she has 5 fear? I don't. Heal for 6, going up to 20. And then I could get rid of fear. Or power. Yeah, you know what? I didn't use that yet. Change the 2 to a 5. Get rid of all 5 fear. Like that. He does now heal 4. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 3, 3. I have 4 different values. So he goes up to 8. So 9 health. Coming back to Carl. See? Again. Which means he's healing again if I don't kill it. But I only need to do 4 damage with the 5 fear. So let's see what we can do. All right, 1, 6, 6, 3, and 4. Well then. That's not great. First things first, I'm going 6, 6 over here to put 2 cubes there that will let Willow change her dice later on. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter what I do here. I'd like to get rid of fear, but I can't with a 1 and 3 could. I want the 3 for that. Yeah, let's get rid of 1 fear. So we'll go back to 4. I don't know if that was smart, but it is what it is. Then this 3 hits 4. We'll see in a minute. 1. That makes up for that crazy run before, but that's 1 plus 5 is 6. He goes down to 3, which means I am going to trigger that one. Rolling this, better be more than a 3. 3, good, he's dead. We get our cubes back, and that's the end of battle number 2, clearing off the board for a minute. Putting these back into the bag, and we go back to our next loot phase. All right, so all set up for the next loot phase. His old reward is done. Let's take a look at what we got. Again, we're working with regular rewards this time. So here I've got choose one, gain 2 power cubes, 4 health, or remove 2 fear. And get a baseball glove, change up. It says change both dice placed. So we got to place an even and an odd. Change both dice placed on this ability so that the sum is 8 and reuse both. That's really cool. Not for her because she wants low dice, but for him potentially really cool. Because that gets me 3s if I need them. Here, regular reward, gain 4 power cubes, but -1 die for your next turn. Gets me the grappler gun retract. I can place any die there, and then I could subtract any amount from the die I placed there and reuse it. That might be even better, because that can make it any number, but it doesn't make dice higher, it only makes them lower. That could actually be good for her, too. Next, regular reward, gain 10 health, -1 die your next turn. Torpedo ball, Hail Mary. X damage for 3 is the total amount of fear you currently have, which could be cool, except that I haven't been playing a ton of fear on myself, although he's fairly high most of the time, but he's already got 2-3 weapons. I don't want another one. Last one, regular reward, +1 die your next turn, -1 die for the next player's turn after you. Remote Mines Kablammy says for a 4, I get to choose one. Place 2 power cubes on this card, or put all the cubes from this card in the reserve and deal 2 fear per cube to all baddies. Wow, interesting. But I don't want to waste my cubes for that, because that's coming from the team supply, not the reserve supply. So no, I'm going to focus on these 2. I want him to have the glove, which means gain 2 power, 4 health, or remove 2 fear. Yeah, I don't love it, but I'm going to remove 2 fear, even though more cubes would be a nice thing. He's going second. She's going to take the grappler bow because that helps her get low numbers that she needs for these things. And she's going first. And she's going to gain 4 cubes. Yay. But for her next turn, she's -1 die. So I'm going to set that up here for right now to remember that and leave that there. And that'll go away after her first turn. These clear away. These clear away. And then again, this normally would be a random die roll to find the next thing, but I've been asked for my 3rd battle to try Punkville, which says page 9 and 10. That would have been a roll of 1. So going to page 9 and 10, we are entering Punkville. After all of the commotion, you decide to continue on in case any clank bots detected you. You travel all day and come across a small town. You slowly scan the area for raiders or hooligans, but it's dead quiet. Nothing to worry about. This place is as dead as those death bots are going to be if we ever see them. Whoosh, clang! A stop sign reverberates. A warning shot. Read the sign, losers. Sorry, bro. We're running from bots and crumb bums. I don't care if you're running from a 2-headed grizzly bear. You got 3 seconds to turn back to where you came from. You gonna make us, punk? You and what army? 2 axe-wielding dudes with creepy red eyes emerge. 3, 2, 1. Time to play. All right, victory condition. Defeat both minions and the punk in 6 turns or less. If completed again, go to loot phase. Extra setup rule. The punks are scared. No, just the punk. The minions are not. The punk is starting with 3 fear. That's cool. Basic ability power can't be used this battle if I want a super reward. I might take that challenge. Means I don't get to add any green cubes. We'll see how many I spend. That might be doable. Place out our ability. Trackers. Punk starts at 40 health. Both minions start at 32 health. Much more health than we've seen so far. Still have 6 rounds to win. We're starting with Wicked Willow. -1 die. She takes a token A, which says that both minions are doing 1 damage to both of us. And the punk is in a hiding place. Quick. It says I can't deal damage to punk. Punk removes all fear at the start of their turn. Well, that's not great, but it's also not bad because we get that out of the way early before I start piling fear on the punk. And I can't hit them now anyway, so I'm not going to dump any fear on them. That may have been a good luck thing for us. So let's focus on smashing some minions. 2, 3, 5, and 6 is absolutely not 12. But if I flip the 6, that's 5 and 5 is 10 and 11. That would be. I could even flip the 5. Let's see, 5, 6, 7. No, that's 13. So if I flip the 6, we're good. Ooh, and then I can do a bunch of nails and hit both minions for lots. I just wish I had the ability to do more fear. Ooh, I do. Okay, let's do this. 5 becomes 4. And that's used. That 4 goes here. We're rolling. 1 fear. Yeah, I'm not going to waste a reroll. That's not great, but it's a something. Then this 6 flips to 1. I'm going to put that there with 2 power cubes. like that. And I should mark that's used too. Then 3 damage against both of them. Well, 3 placed here against both of them. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is less than 12. So I'm doing 8, 9 against 1, 8 against 2. So 32 minus 9 is 13 for him. And 14 for baddie 2 because they didn't have that fear. Like that. I've got a 2 left. Do I want to heal? Not really. She doesn't have any fear, and I don't want to use the power ability, so I'm just going to attack again. Let's hit the weaker guy. 1. That's 1 plus 1 is 2 more. He's to 11. I might as well spin that now. 11 and 14 like that. They each do 1 damage to everybody. So she takes 2 hits. 1, 2. This goes away, but she gets her die back. He takes 1 plus 2, 3 times 2 is 6, so he's at 20, like that. Carl's turn. I mean, I guess they're all Carl's turn. Because that's me. See? All right, ouch. All right, so each minion is hitting for 4 damage against the player with the highest health, which right now is him at 20, unless, yeah, it's him as 20. This guy, Punk Man, here is sneak attacking. 4 fear to the player with the least fear. So she's going to get 4 fear. And they're going to get hit for 4 from each person. But that's him twice. So he'll lose 6 and 6. I need to get rid of that, and I'd love to kill a minion. Let's see what happens. Still have these 2 things, but he can't use them. All right, let's roll and see what happens. I'd love a big slingshot hit against the minions. All right, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 1. 4s don't do a whole lot of good for me. I might re-roll, but let's see what we got. This says another player rolls dice, so I can't do anything with that. I could give some fear with this. I could potentially give some fear with this. I need to get rid of some fear, and that's odd. So I'm going to actually re-roll those 2 dice and hope for something good. A 1 and a 5. That's not good at all. Yeah, I got to do that again. There's a 1 and a 5 again. Are you kidding me? Well, it is what it is. All right. I shouldn't have wasted the second re-roll, but I get hit for it. No. I gotta do one more time. I'm re-rolling this 5, which is another 1. That was a 4. All right, so we've got 1, 1, 1, 4, and 4, which is not good. Because battle card can't work if I want to use the baseball glove, and I really want to use the baseball glove. So I'm gonna put a 4 even and 1 odd to change that into a 3 and a 5, because that adds up to 8. No, before I did that. I'm placing a 1 here. No. Oh, no. I'm placing that there. 4. Yeah, that's fine. I'm doing X total damage for 1s and 2s. I have 3, not damage, fear. I've got 3 showing. So he's going to go up to 4. Like that. And then, yeah, this will work out. Okay. 1 odd, 4 even. That becomes a 3 and a 5. Like that. I'm going to place the 2 1s right there. Yeah. 2 1s like that. Rerolling one of those 1s as his reroll. Ouch. He gets 2 more fear. Rerolling one of hers. She gets 2 more fear. Yeah. I want to get rid of fear, but if I get rid of fear, then she's going to take the hit. No, player with the most hearts gets hit. Player with the least fear gains fear. Anyway, let's see what happens. I'm putting that 3 there, so I'm rolling attacking him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, let's get there. 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's dead. Yay. So we're only going to get hit once, which is important. Then I have to use this to get rid of all of this fear because I'm not even going to move anything. Oh wait, I still have a 1 left. No, I didn't. That was the 3. Sorry. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's that. I have to do this because I'm removing all of these. Fear abilities happen before attack abilities. So they're going to add 4 fear to the player with the least fear, which is going to be him. So I am going to put those back on. But that's stupid. If I remove that and he gets them again, that's stupid because she'll get them instead if I keep them there. But then he gets hit for 8 either way. So yeah, no, that's stupid. Let's cause some damage to somebody. I'm going to hit the minion because he's getting lower already. It's just going to do 1 damage, but it's worth it. Yep, 1 damage against him. He's at 13. Now, he has the most health. He takes 4 damage. Plus 4 fear means he's down to 12, like that. Okay. Back to Wicked Willow. She draws A. 1 damage against everybody, and I can't hit the punk, but the fear is gone. That's great, because now I can spend time putting fear here, and starting next turn I can start smashing the punk. Because the punk doesn't hurt me any. I want to get rid of this minion. Those are gone. We roll this 5. She's only got 2 fear, which I'm not too worried about. 1, 2, 3, 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. Those are not used anymore. Then I can lower anything. I can heal all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we're going to do all kinds of fun things. All right, I'm doing 1, 1, and 2 over here. Because that's going to heal. Wait a minute. Subtract any amount. Yeah, I can't get a 2 to a 4. Because I could change this 6 to a 1 and place that there to get more healing, but that's fine. 2 times 2 is 6 for both of us. That's 24. That's 18. Everybody gets a fear. So she's at 3. Whoops. 1, 1. He goes to 5. Then this 6 gets placed here to go to a 4. And I'm rolling against this guy. 1. Okay, so he's got 2 fear, and then I will place there 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is less than 12. So that's 8, 9, 10. He doesn't die, but he's close. Which means he's doing 1 damage to everybody. She takes 4. He takes 6, back to 12. That's the turn. Next, C again. So we're getting fear to the player with the least fear, which is going to be her. Unless he heals everything. Which he might do, but I got to kill this guy too. Let's see what happens. I keep forgetting this. I could have increased or decreased. I can change that 1 down 1. Yeah, I'm not going to retcon, but I could have had 3 more health for both of them. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. I want a 3. I'd like 1s to put some fear out. 2 and 5. Could change to 3 and 5 to get me another attack here. That hits 2 enemies. Yeah, let's do that. Even odd 2 and 5 changes to 3 and 5 to make 8. Because then I can. This is all. Everybody gets 2 fear. Which doesn't matter for him, but yeah, there's his 2 fear. There's his 2 fear. I don't want to mess up any of this. So I'm going to reroll one of these. He's safe. Reroll one of hers. She's safe. Attacking here, I've got 2 3s, means I can hit both of them for 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, he's dead. Bye-bye minion number 1. He also gets hit for 2. 3, 4, 5, he's down to 35. Then, we'll see what I do with that in a minute. 3 goes here, and I'm attacking this guy. 1, and I can't re-roll, that's 4. He's down to 31. And this 5, can't heal because it's odd. Could remove my fear and get it back again. Yeah, let's do that. That 5 is gone. He's instantly getting 4 back for being lowest. Like that. We move into turn 5 with Wicked Willow, and they're both Bs, so it doesn't matter, but there's a B. He's gone. Quick, any 6s rolled are changed to 1. That's actually really good for Willow. Thank you, punk. And look at that. There's 2 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I can get that down to a 2 or 3, which I can do easily by flipping right there, let's do that. Okay. 5 flips to 2. Boom. 4 is going to fear it up against the punk, the only one that's left. And I'm re-rolling that 1 because that's sad. That went off the table. Here's a 5. That's 1, 2. 2 fear there. Means that's 3, 4, 5. Then, yeah, forget it. Subtract any amount from that, making it a 1. So there's 3 1s there. We get 9 healing. So she's up to 29, he's up to 21, like that. And all players and baddies gain a fear. So he's at 6, she's at 4, he's at 5 again. And then we attack with the bow, which is easily under 12. That's 8, 9, 14. Means 21 and 4, 20, 19, 18, 17 down. This is where things get a little scary because I have 1 last turn. But first, yeah, nothing happens. It's going to be a B again, means I can't roll 6s. 5 and 1 is 6, times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13, 14. I can do at least 14 damage to them. If I do 2, 2 and 6 is 8. 1 and 6 is 7, that's 15, and if I can hit all 3 times, I win. And of course I didn't roll any 3s. That 6 becomes a 1. Yeah, I gotta re-roll all of those. I can always make 1 3, but I can't make the second one. And there is 1, good. Okay, then, keep that 3. 1 and 4 makes a 3 and 5. 5 and 3, like that. I'm going to play a 3 there first because I could end up destroying them with this roll. 1, nope, 2. Okay, 2 plus 6 is 8. That's down to 9. The best I can do right now is an 8. Unless I want to add fear. Hold on, I'm just thinking. If I do that and I do that, I have 2 dice left. Yeah, let's do that. All right. 5 goes there. I've got 2 1s showing, so I add 2 fear. Then I'm going to place a 1 there to make this back to 4 fear. Not that that really matters, but it's nice. Place a 6 there to heal back to 27, and then this 3 goes there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10, killing that punk. And we move into our final loot phase. All right, so final loot phase, this is what we've got. Now, I didn't use the power ability at all in the last battle, so I do get the super reward this time. Your next turn, all basic abilities are applied twice. And I've got a pogo stick up or down. Change the die placed on this ability by 1. Reuse that die. Cool. Golf bag rockets, diversion. Healing double the value placed on the ability. It's got to be odd, but it heals both of us. Don't really need that now, but I'd get 3 power and 2 health, which would not be a bad thing to have right now. Here, gain 4 power, and I got a baseball bat. At a 5, 3 times the lowest value die. That could be huge. That could be huge. I might not mind giving that to her, because this gets me more likely to have 3s for his attacks to go off. Another 3 attack. Electric BB gun powered up. 1 damage, but I can spend any amount of cubes from the supply to deal 2 damage for each cube spent. That's not great, except maybe as a Hail Mary at the end. Ignore the next time you're dealt fear or damage. No. All right, she's taking the bat. And we are gaining, because that means if she has a high number, she can do this 5. Or a low number, she can do this instead. So that covers her bases. She gains 4 power cubes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then he's going to take the pogo stick because that helps him get those 3s he needs, or matching things he might need. Which means my next turn, all basic abilities applied twice, which could be interestingly nice. And that pogo stick is useful. All right, and he's going to be going first because he's 2 and she's 4, clearing the rest of the book off. And again, should be randomized rolling a die. 1 and 2 gets Deathbots, 3 and 4 gets D1000, and 5 and 6 gets D800. But I've been asked to fight against D800, which is the page right just before this one. And we move into our final battle against D800. It says, "Woohoo! You managed not to get smashed into oblivion. It's been oddly low-key for a while, but you sense you're being followed. Looting an old sporting goods store, you hear something fall to the ground and discover a lone clankbot. Not again. Grab the baseball bats over there."
Suspend action. I intend no harm. My name is Eric. Like my robotic creators, I have developed self-awareness.
You have a name? Is this some kind of trick?
I name myself ERIC, Exceptionally Rad Imaginative Cyborg. I've created my own programming. It's to help cyborgs like myself explore autonomy, creative expression, and something referred to as love. Eric is very lonely.
Okay.
We will be friends. Eric will assist you in eliminating all Cyberdyne D800 systems.
So you're gonna follow us around until a Deathbot shows up?
D800 GPS tracking initiated.
What? Did you just send an alert?
Commence Project Love. Liberation of various electronics.
Bruh. All right, so our victory condition says defeat the D800 in 6 turns or less. So I don't have to kill Eric. Poor Eric. I just have to defeat the D800 to win. Extra setup rule, charge up. Each time I use one of these power cubes to re-roll, or for an ability, I place the cube on D800, and you'll see why in just a second. It also says regenerate. When the D800's health first goes to 0, I'm going to set it back to 40 and its fear to 3. So we don't need the second baddie tracker. Eric doesn't have any health. We're starting at tough, so he gets 50, but realistically it's 90, because when he hits 0, it's going back to 40 and he's getting 3 fear. Now, each time I use a power cube, it goes on him because his B activation says each time I deal damage, it deals 2 times the amount of power cubes that are placed on it. And that includes when I defeat it. It's going to hurt me as it sort of explodes at the end as well. It's a power ability before a baddie ability. Choose to either remove 5 fear and give me 5 fear, or place 2 more power cubes on D800. So I'd love for B to happen early, if it can. C says choose one, dealt 10 damage, and he removes 5, or we are both dealt 10 damage. Okay, so he's doing lots of damage. I gotta get rid of my fear badly. Eric, faulty targeting. He's gonna do 5 damage to everybody. Means us two, just us two, sorry. But if the sum of the dice rolled are 11 or less, or 23 or greater, then I will deal the 5 damage to him instead of us. Okay, that's cool. B, give assistance anytime I roll a 2. I have to spend a cube to change it, but I can change it to anything I want to. And C, quick, if you use a power cube, I heal 5. That's cool too. All right, so let's see what's happening. We're starting with Crazy Carl, pulling my first chip. I'd love to see a B early. Nope, that's a C. So we're starting with a C, which says, choose one. I'm dealt 10, and D800 removes 5, or we both get hit 10. Well, he doesn't have 5, so yay. We go to 17, and that's fine. Then, this says if I use a power cube, I gain 5 health, but that also means he gets the power cube. Okay, rolling up for Crazy Carl. I need to get rid of these fear. Four, 4, 4, 1, and 6. That's no 3s there, but remember I have this that can make a 3 and this that can make a 3 from one of those 4s. Yeah, let's do that. 1 and 6, even and odd, flips to a 3 and a 5. Like that. Double 4s go here to get fear. Whoops, I don't need to roll both of those. Put that back. I'm going to roll one of those. There's a 3. That's not going to matter, but that means that 3 or less gain 2 fear. Yeah, that's fine. And you'll see why in just a second. She going to roll, which is 3. She's going to get 2 fear. That's less fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that. Okay. I'm not going to take his because his is going to go away in a minute. This has been used. I should mark things as used so I don't forget. Then I'm going to use this one to lower this 4 by 1 to a 3. I'm going to use this 5 to get rid of 5 courage, but because of this, on this turn, everything's doubled, so all my fear goes away. Yay. Then, doesn't matter which one I start with. Here I can hit them both, but Eric doesn't take damage. So I'm doing 2 damage. I forgot to add the 2 fear from my battle cart. So 2 damage plus 2 pushes him to 4 is 46. Then we're attacking with the slingshot. Let's go big hits. Nope, that's 3 damage. He's the 43. Oh, and I just realized, sorry, this happened at the end of the round. This doesn't say quick. I just saw green, so I thought it was quick. It's not. So it's happening now, but I already did it, so he's just going to lose those 2 things like that. Okay, coming to Wicked Willow. See again. So he's going to do 10 against her or 10 against both and remove fear. Yeah, that's fine. All right, she rolls. 1, 3, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, 10, 11. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to use this to flip this 1 to a 6. Then put a 4 there to re-roll and see what kind of fear I can do. That's 1, 2, 3. So he's got 3 fear on him, like that. And I don't want his fear to go away. Yeah, no, so I'm going to do this. He can heal next. No, she's going to heal 3, 3. Oh, hold on. I can use this, subtract any amount from this. Makes that a 3, 2. 3, 3, 3 means 9 healing, whatever. She's maxed. He goes up to 26. And everybody gets a fear, which is not great. I didn't really plan that out well because she's not going to heal. 5, 6, 7, and 10 is 17. She's fine. I place this 5. My lowest value die is a 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's down to 30 hit points. Then I'm going to deal 10 to both of them, but that's 17 to her. So 10 and 7, she's at 13. 10 plus 1 is 11. He's at 15. Like that. But that means the fear stays, so yay. Next round, A. Quick, choose one. Remove 5 fear and gain 5, and I gain 5 fear, or place 2 cubes. I'm going to place 2 cubes. Because I want that fear to stay. Then he is targeting everybody, but if my sum of dice is 11 or less or 23 or greater, then he's going to hit the baddie instead. So we got to make that happen. 5, 10, 15, 21, 22, 23 is good. Except I want a 3. But I can get a 3. 5 and 5 goes there. Re-rolling this die is a 1, means I'm getting 2 fear. Re-rolling a die over here for her, she's safe. But the baddie gets 2 fear. 4, 5, 6. Like that. Then 1 and 6 goes 3 and 5. Like that. Which means I don't have that anymore. This is used. Then 5, 10, 15, 23 works there. Except I'm worried about that. Because that's going to stop at a 1. No, that doesn't work. So I can't hit him with that this turn. But that's okay. I'm going to use this 5 here to get a 6. So that I can heal for 6. Goes to 21. I got a 3 and a 5. I'm going to hit with the 3, does 1, 2, 3, 5 is 8, goes to 22. And I am going to do this. I can always re-roll. But if I re-roll, he gets more strong, or stronger. Yeah, but that's fine. 5, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. A 4 or higher is good. All right. And there's my 4. Good. So I do hit for 1, 2, and 5 is 7. 1, 2, and 5 gets him to 15 health. And then 4, 10, and 10, and 3 is 23. Good. So he hits him for 5, 6, 11. So he's down to 4 health. Yay. Back to Wicked Willow's turn. We're doing good. We're doing real good. I drew a B. Quick, each time you deal damage, it does 2 times that, which is 4. Not bad if I can hit big. Anytime you roll a 2, I have to spend to change it. That's not good. All right, let's see what happens. 5, 6, 6, 2, 3. We're not getting this. We're doing big damage with the baseball bat. Flip a die to the other side. 2 becomes a 5. Yeah, 2 becomes a 5. Then she's going to take some damage in a minute, but that's okay. Because I'm going to play this here. Yeah. No, I'm going to play this 3 here. No, because then that's not going to change, and she'll only do 3 times that. My point is I want 3 times 5. That's used. Because I'm not sure. It says when his heart goes to 0, set its heart to 40 and its fear to 3. That means this is going away. Means I don't care right now. I need to heal up and stuff. All right, so 3 goes there to do 2 damage plus everything that he's got here. He gets knocked out. Those go away and turn to 3. This recharges to 40. Okay, now is when things need to happen. 6, 6, and 5. Like that. Gets me 6 healing for both of us. So this goes to 20. This goes to 27. But I should have taken 4. Yeah, 4 damage. 9, 10, 11. So I'm down to 9. Ouch. I can't hit him again. I got to do that to get rid of my 5 fear. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But we should all have 1 more fear. Like that. And if I did that already, then ouch. But I definitely didn't do it on him because he had 3. Hold on. All of that messed up. Because I just realized I had a 2 that I changed to a 5. And I had to spend it. All right, then hold on. 20 minus 6 is 14. He was at 6. Let's do this again. He was at, I don't remember, 2 or 3. That was a 2. She healed 5 and gained 1. So lose 1 and gain 5. He loses 1. And I think that resets right. This 2 has to be changed. So if I do that, I can change that 2 to a 6. Because if I do that then, and sorry, that 3 goes there. If I do that then, this 3 changes to a 4. Like that. No, I don't want that to happen though. It's not going to matter. That 3 stays. Because that 3 did the same thing that happened before. This goes to 40. This resets to 3. But I'm taking 3 is 6, 12 damage. I'm down to 2. Then 3 6s there heals me for 9. So I'm at 11. And everybody gets that fear. Like that. And I do heal that, or get rid of that 5. All right. I think that was a fix. And if I messed up, I'm sorry. I'll fix it in the subtitles later. Coming back to Carl. Pulling an A. Quick, before the baddie, choose 1. Remove 5 fear and I gain 5, or place 2 cubes on him. Yeah, I need to place those 2 cubes on him. Because I can't let him lose all that fear. Problem is, I know that the bee is coming and that's 10 damage now. But it is what it is. We can't use any rerolls this turn. Please. Okay. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. I got double 3s. Got some 4s for some fear. He's okay for health. But I need to be above 23 or minus 11. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is not going to work. Not going to work. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, these 4s need to go away. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then that's got to be a 2 if I want him to hit there. Well, let's see what happens. I'm placing those 4s there. Yeah, but then I can't do what I wanted to do. Any 2 any's. Then a 3 and a 4 goes there. And I change those to whatever I want. Which is a 2 and a 6. 2 and a 6. Potentially. All right, hold on. What's happening? Those 2s go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna roll this 6, but first, he gets to fear. Rolling this gets me a 4. Not what I wanted, but that means no fear for him. 3 gets her 2 more fear, which is a big problem. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to hit me for 5. It is what it is. Okay, then I'm using this to change this 4 to a 3. So that's used. If I place this 4 here, total 1 and 2 is 2. He gets 2 more fear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's at 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. Attacking with the tripod turret is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10 to 30. This 3 goes here, and let's hope for some big stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5 is 15. We're down to 15 points. Then 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is horrible because 12 means he's hitting everybody. Means we both lose 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's down to 2. I don't think we're winning this. He's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. Goes down to 9. I know for a fact that the last one here is a B, which means she's got to reroll 2s by putting cubes there. I can't hit him enough to matter. All right. 3 times something. If I hit him with 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, anything. If it was 6, 7, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14 is not enough. Okay, so this has to be a 3. At least. But I can spend these 2 cubes to do that. But what does this say? Each time you use to reroll or for an ability. This is not for an ability. It means for an ability means like this. So I can spend both of those to make that a 3. I have a 5 to attack. 4 and 4. I could subtract anything from that to heal a bunch. But 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I can heal for 9. That's not good enough. But I can heal for 6, and 6 is 12. Still not good enough. Flip this dice placed on this card to its opposite side, then reuse the dice. Beautiful. Okay. Subtract anything from this, 6 becomes a 4. That's used. Flip this to its other side, 6 is used. Because 4, 4, 4 means I heal for 9. So I'm up to 11. Everybody gets a fear. 1, 1, 1. Then I heal again for 6. I'm up to 17. Then I hit for 5, which is 3 times my lowest value is 4. I'm hitting for 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that was a 1. 16, 21. He's destroyed, but as he dies, he's dealing me 10 plus 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. She survives with 2 hit points. We defeated D800 just by the skin of our teeth. The optional challenge here, all players finished the battle with 20 plus hit points for the ultimate victory. Did not happen. He's got 9, she's got 2, but we survived and we destroyed D800 for a win. Yay, 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 and yay. So while we're here now, this is where I usually like to take a look at the components. This is a prototype copy of the game, so I can't speak too much, but the artwork is the artwork, and I imagine it stays. I'm not going to talk about the card quality or dice quality or any of that kind of thing, or the token quality, because that's all likely to change in the Kickstarter campaign. But let's talk about a couple things. First is Power Cube tray or board. I love the dual layered nature. These cubes stay in there very well. It's very nice to have that there. The player mats here, they are a little flimsy. They fold, they tri-fold to fit into the box. Now, the box is not huge, but it's already fairly large. I'd love to see this kind of thing dual layered so cards can slot in like that, so that dice can slot in like that. But realistically, I don't know if that's smart, because again, these fold up and fit into the box, and if you have so many of these folded up into the box and they were all dual layered, it's going to take up a ton of space in the box. So I don't know how realistic that is, but again, these things do slide around. They do get bumped when other dice are being rolled, although I could use a dice tray, of course. But that is what it is. The artwork in this game, I happen to absolutely love. Let me clear off these tokens so I can show you the battles that you didn't get a chance to see. Because part of where this game shines, and what I'll talk about more in my actual review, is sort of the variability of this game. So we saw the Clanks. Here we've got Thieves, Rat Kids, and Bandit. This is kind of cool. The Rat Kids block you, that you can't use sixes. Here you're going to remove 2 cubes. They're stealing them from you. Or you can choose to lose all the dice you place on the basic abilities for your next turn. They also give you fear, so they're not doing any damage to you. At the same time, this guy right here, the Bandit, is giving fear to you guys. He's biting us for lots of damage. And at the start of the turn, if he's a sneaky thief, he's removing cubes from here, but you'll get them back as soon as you defeat him. The interesting thing is he gets defeated by placing fear on it and scaring it away rather than beating it. Pretty cool. Here are the Cult Recruiters, those minions we saw before, but now by themselves, giving player fear, attacking based on the amount of fear you have, and so basically doubling your fear damage, or attacking the lowest die value showing to everybody. This is the battle with the mutants that you saw before. Here's the punk you saw before. Big bad bully. We've got 2 ratties and a bully. The ratties are healing based on the fear that they have. Anytime you do a damage to them, they hurt you back 1. And this one, each time you re-roll, you gain a player, you choose a player to gain a fear. The bully here says aggressive expression of deep-seated fears does 3 damage times the amount of fear he has to us. So the more scared he gets, the more damage he's doing. Picking on the weak, he gives fear to the player or baddie with the least health. So he could eventually scare the ratties as well. And smashing everything in sight, 3 damage to all players and all other baddies. So he's just bashing things with his big spiked bat. Over here, Bomber Boy. We've got 2 Clank bots that do 3 damage to everybody. Remove power cubes for 3s and 4s. Or do 3 times the total 1s and 6s you have. Stabby hands. Bomber Boy has a used gear giveaway. Ooh, that's kind of cool. At the start of the turn, draw 1 item. Choose to place that on top of any ability or get rid of it. Testing new weapons, draw a weapon card. Bomber Boy will use the weapon with the dice that I have showing, dealing the maximum damage or fear. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Tossing grenades in random directions for fear to all players and all baddies. I will mention that I haven't fought this battle yet. That's why I'm being surprised by some of the stuff it's showing. This is Minions and Biker Raiders. 6 damage to any player of your choice, 1 damage to everyone, fear to everyone based on the lowest even die you have showing. Biker confronting the leader, fear to any player of your choice. Ransom is anytime you roll a 6, I lose the die, spending 2 to gain it back and change it. C, avoid the shotgun blast. If the sum is 13 or 17, then set health and fear to 1. If it's 15, gain 10 health. Wow, that's scary. Mutant Grizzly Bear. He's losing fear every turn because he's top of the food chain, but we can place their dice on this hide ability to change it to any value by gaining a fear. At the start of the turn, he's removing fear. Also, damage delta is reduced to 1. 10 times the damage, the lowest die value showing damage to you. 3 or more unique dice deals 15 damage to all players. Some more Slime Kings. Fear to everybody. 15 damage to you unless you can get the die below 11 or 23 up. Then healing 10 for every defeated slime bag. So you kind of want to kill him before you kill them. They're going to, every time you use a reroll or deal damage or fear, reduce your health by 3. Place 2 rerolls from your supply on a slime bag or 1 damage to all. Here's some Deathbot Final Battle. 2 of them, doing X damage, the highest even you have to everybody. Fear to the player with the most hearts. Every time you deal damage or fear, it deals 3 damage to me. D1000 is similar to the D800, except I'm fighting against him with 2 Clank Bots. We choose to gain 2 cubes or and 5 fear, or gain 10 health and lose a die for the next turn. Proton Cannon, sum of all the dice you have showing to everyone, or 10 times the totals of 2 and 6s. Clank Bots and dealing damage for odds you have showing. Any 6 showing must be changed to any other value, and each time you use a basic ability, apply the effect twice. And then finally the D800 that you saw, and that is all of the baddies. Let me just flick you through the weapons. I'm not going to show them all to you very quickly. I just want you to see the artwork because, again, I find the artwork in this game very charming. The theming of this game, very charming. I just love the way everything looks. I think this is going to be the kind of artwork, though, that's kind of polarizing because it is very sketchy and not like clean or beautiful, but I love it. It looks like an old like 90s Class Geek Supo cartoon or some kind of cool like indie comic book. I'm just loving the characters. Again, I don't want to go too in depth to what all of the characters do, but I just want to show you the other people that there are. Here's Bashin Blake. High complexity, high attack, little support, little randomness. Brilliant Bridget, most complex, not so much attack, but really great support, very little randomness. Reckless Ralph, complexity 2, super strong attack, not so great support, very random. So he's got wild chances of doing lots of damage. And then Deadly Dorothy, low complexity, not great for attacking, pretty good support, and lots of randomness as well. Again, I'm loving the way this game looks. I'm loving the design and the feel of everything, aside from maybe these fold-out player boards, which actually should be folded that way. They kind of fold, tri-folded. You kind of have to rebend them every time they lay out. They lay out, they work fine, but ultimately, I'd love to see a little bit more something for those, but everything else is cool. I love that the baddies are in a book like that. I'm just a big fan of how everything looks. Now maybe back up top and I'll let you know what I think about the gameplay itself. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Before I get into things, I just want to give a few apologies from the video that you've watched so far. First things first is that the lighting / exposure was a little weird on my video, and I've done my best to color correct and do as much as I could, but some of it is a little bit shiny and a little bit hard to read, and I apologize for that. I also apologize for a few of the mistakes I made throughout the playthrough. I probably would have died quite a bit sooner, but the good news is by not dying, I've gotten to show you more battle, more stuff, more of the game, so hopefully that plays out in my favor, and also you still get an idea of how the game plays, even with the mistakes, and I have hopefully caught all of them and made a note in the subtitles of the game. The final quick apology is that as I sit down to record this video, a thunderstorm just erupted outside, so if you hear a little bit of noise from that, I'm sorry, but I do want to keep going with this right now. So with that said, let's talk about the game. Wastelandia is a new game from a new publisher, new designer, actually self-publishing this game on Kickstarter. And this is one that I started to hear a little bit about. They were doing some prototyping, play testing kind of stuff on BGA, Mike from the One Stop Co-op Shop told me that this is one I might want to check out because it was interesting and coming from somebody who may not get the exposure otherwise. So I was very excited when I did get a chance to get a preview copy of this game to try out this game. So let me tell you how I feel about this game. This, at its core, is a roll dice and see what happens kind of game, where you're rolling dice and using the values that come out on your dice to mitigate damage, deal damage through items, but also deal with this interesting fear mechanism in this game, which is basically a way that you can sort of pile up the damage you're going to deal later, but also potentially weaken yourself to damage that's coming into you later, as every amount of fear that's placed on you or the baddies is going to be an additional point of damage that's dealt in every attack that's against you or the baddies. So as you're building up fear, things become more dangerous. And thematically, it works really well because it makes sense that a lot of these things make you scared, and being scared, you're less likely to be prepared for an attack, which means that in an attack, you're likely to take more damage. But anyway, the point is, rolling these dice, you're using the dice to deal fear, deal damage, sort of mitigate fear, heal yourself, and then most importantly, as a dice-based kind of rolling to trigger kind of thing, mitigation of that dice, of those dice, are going to be the most important thing of these games. And it's done pretty uniquely here in a couple of different ways. First, you've got the power cubes, so that every time you roll dice, you can potentially spend a power cube, or as many power cubes as you want to re-roll as many dice as you want to, as many times as you can afford to pay for with those power cubes. And this is a little bit different than a lot of these games, because a lot of these games is usually like lock dice and roll the rest, and then lock more dice and roll the rest, or re-roll, but you've got to re-roll everything kind of systems. And in this case, you can re-roll as many as you want to for every re-roll you do, but you don't get to do anything with the dice until you're done re-rolling. And then once you've decided that you're done re-rolling, you can't choose to re-roll later. You can only re-roll when you're actually rolling. But a lot of the abilities, a lot of the items, a lot of the things that you're going to do force you to roll the dice for something to happen again. And at that point, you can again pay to re-roll. So you do have a chance later on in a turn to mitigate dice. And that's going to be important, because even if a die has been spent, it's still what's called showing. And a lot of the abilities that you have are going to trigger based on the sort of total value of the dice showing, or the total number of a certain value showing, and so on. So even after you've done stuff on your board, it's going to be important what's showing on your dice, so that other abilities can trigger to the sort of most efficient or the best use of those abilities later on. And that's very interesting to me, that the mitigation of the dice is not just to mitigate the die to do something. It's also to mitigate that die to be something important for some other potential thing that happens later on in the game. And that's pretty cool. Because again, this is at its heart a Yahtzee kind of game where I'm rolling dice to get stuff done. Except here, aside from those certain abilities that do trigger off of, you know, how many 2s you've rolled, or how many 5s you've rolled, or the total number or total value of your dice, you're not really looking for sets here. You're often looking for specific values of dice, or at least pairs of specific values of dice when you are looking for sets. So you're trying to get specific numbers or specific totals, rather than trying to, you know, 3 of a kinds or large straights and small straights like you often see in these games. So that does twist things up quite a bit. The other interesting twist is then the baddies themselves. Every baddie has different things that they're going to be doing. But it's interesting in that the way that it works is at the start of every turn, you pull a token that's telling you exactly what that baddie is going to do at the end of your turn. So now you're not just sort of afraid of what the baddie's going to do. You know what's going to happen. So it's up to you to manipulate the dice, not just to do the best thing for you on a given turn, but to do the sort of the best that you can do to prevent the baddie from doing whatever it's doing on a given turn, or at least prepare yourself for what's coming on any given turn. For example, if I know they're attacking, I'm going to want to make sure that I clear off as much fear as possible from my board so that that attack doesn't do extra damage. If I know that they're not attacking, then I don't care so much about fear on me for that turn. So I might want to make sure that on that turn, I do whatever I can to put as much fear or as much damage on the baddie that turn. And sometimes the baddies are going to hit me when I hit them. Sometimes the baddies are going to only do things when my dice show specific values, or when my dice have specific total values, or up above or below a certain threshold. Sometimes the baddies work in my favor if I can set it up in just the right way, that the baddie actually hurts somebody else and not me or my partner. But always you can see what's happening this round or this turn. But also the baddies each have 3 options, A, B, and C, so you can see the sort of things that are potentially possible to happen in the future as well. And knowing this pattern is really interesting, because it really does mean that even with the randomness of the dice, I have some idea of what the future means, or what the future is going to do as we play through the game. So I can prepare for things, I can set up for things, I can do lots of stuff now and wait to do other things later. And the dice hurt me if I don't roll the right thing. So there's definitely luck here, because it's a dice-based game and I roll and it's lucky because, yay, lucky. But again, there's so much mitigation of the dice in this game, and I've only talked about the power cubes so far, so let's talk about the abilities as well. There are those sort of yellowish ability cards, item cards, that allow you to do other things to the dice. I had one that places 1 even and 1 odd and switches them to whatever I want, so long as they total up to 8. I had one that lets me place a single die and reduce it as far as I want to. I had one that let me go up or down by 1. I had one that let me put power cubes on and use those power cubes later to set the dice to specific values. I had one that flipped the die to the other side. So there are a lot of these cards that are going to allow you to manipulate the dice, not always to the value that you want, but at least to a value that's more helpful than something that you might have rolled that you have 0 interest in having rolled. So that's really important. But also there are a lot of cards that don't depend on the die value. You can place any die there, or any that's a pair, so it could be any 2 dice. It doesn't matter what the number is, so as long as they match. But then a lot of the cards as well, after you place a die there, as I said, you roll it to trigger whatever happens there, changing the value of that die, which means then that die that's changed could then be used for something else as a showing die. Or potentially you may have an ability that lets you reuse a die, in which case then you can reuse that die as that ability. So leveling all of these different abilities, learning how to figure out how to manipulate the dice the best way possible. Each of the characters plays very differently. I only showed you 2 on camera, but there are a variety of different characters that use dice in a variety of different ways. There are some that take these huge swings to attack, and if you hit, you do great, and if you don't, then maybe you hurt yourself or you get some fear. There's one character that was really cool that you have to basically use your ability to build up a ton of fear on yourself, because you do more damage based on the amount of fear you have, which means you're sort of making yourself more vulnerable to attack, but building up to a huge attack against the baddies. So then you have to make sure that sort of after you make that huge attack that you sort of remove some of that fear, so when the attack comes back to you, you can manage to not be destroyed from having all that fear placed on you. So there's a lot of variability in the different weapons, the different abilities you have, the different ways that you can manipulate the dice, but also the different ways you can use those dice to create fear and to do damage once you've set them to what they need to be. There are a variety of different baddies, which I did show you in my playthrough, and then also at the end in the components section, that allow me to, or that force me to think in different ways, because they interact in different ways, both with each other and with the way that they attack us as a team. So all of this going on is a really, really interesting twist on this roll dice to do things, fight a baddie kind of game. And I'm really, really, really enjoying what I'm seeing here. Because again, it is in 4 stages. You're playing 4 different sets of baddies. And in between each of these stages, you're doing that loot phase. And in that loot phase, you're given a variety of things to choose from. And based on what you choose, you get a sort of a grouping of some kind of special bonus for that round, or that fight, some item or weapon, and then also that controls the turn order of the game, which in a solo mode with 2 characters doesn't matter too much, because it's either first or second in turn order. But you do have this choice that does add a little bit more flavor to which of those things you're choosing. But what this means is, as you're playing through the game, you're basically leveling up your character, getting more abilities, getting more chances to manipulate your dice, getting more chances to use different dice. So maybe if I have things that rely on 3s, I can get more things that rely on 3s like I did, and then find a way to keep getting 3s. Or if I'm afraid that I'm going to keep not rolling 3s and I have that thing that only triggers on a 3, well then maybe I get something that's a 4 and a 5 and a 6. So regardless of what I roll, I can hit whatever that thing is. So it gives me more variety of things that will trigger, sort of a la games like Machikoro or Space Base, where I'm setting up a tableau that triggers off of all these different numbers. So this sort of leveling up system every time that gets you some way to attack, or gets you a new way to manipulate dice, or gets you a new way to heal, or gets you a new way to deal with fear, either giving it or removing it from yourself. All of this leveling up your character, all of these different characters feeling unique as you're playing through the game, all of the different baddies that you're fighting and how you need to deal with their attacks and how they interact with each other. All of this plays out for a really, really unique and interesting experience. I say really, really unique. It is still a roll dice to fight things kind of game. But the unique twists and the leveling up system and the way that this plays out does make it feel quite a bit different than those other dice-based battle kind of games. And I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here. I mentioned it in the components piece, but I'm going to mention it again right here. I love the theming of this. It oozes 90s cartoon comic culture, which is something I grew up sort of in the heart of, and I really love the way this looks. I love the crazy characters. I love this wacky artwork, wacky creatures, this idea of not this dark, creepy, world is destroyed kind of dystopian future post-apocalypse, but this weird, wacky, neon, slimy sort of post-apocalyptic future. I really like it. I think it's really cool. Now, if I have any negatives at all about the game, it is for bosses. It does extend. It does take some time. So it is maybe sometimes a little bit longer than I'd like for it to be for a single session, but the nice thing about being 4 chapters like that is that you could potentially play 2, pack it up, take it back out, and play the other 2, so it doesn't have to be super long. And also it won't be any longer at any player count, because as you saw in the playthrough, each battle is only 6 turns long, regardless of how many people are playing. So it's only going to be 6 turns. Now, it's solo, that's great because I can play the whole time. At a higher count, that might mean that one person only gets to play 1 time because you're playing 4 and then another 2, and then that turn order is going to matter more in higher player count games. But again, I'm reviewing this as a solo game. As a solo game, that doesn't matter to me. Just I wanted you to know that's something that could be there. But anyway, the point is, it's going to be 6 turns per boss times 4. So 24 turns is the entire game. As I said, it does drag a little bit towards the end just because it's getting longer. But again, you're getting more and more powerful, more and more manipulation, more and more crunchy decisions on how to manipulate the dice, which dice to manipulate, which abilities to trigger. I'm really enjoying this game. Again, the only other thing that might be potentially a small negative is this is not a game that I'm going to want to play nonstop, constantly, over and over and over again in a short period of time, because yes, the abilities are different. Yes, the baddies are different. Yes, the characters are different. But after a few plays, it does start to feel a little bit samey. I'm not going to lie to you. It does feel a little bit samey because it is the same kind of game every time. I'm rolling dice, manipulating them, attacking, rolling dice to heal, rolling dice to remove fear, rolling dice to give fear. But with the variety of baddies, with the variety of characters, it's definitely going to be fresh every time, even if that core concept gets a little samey. So what I mean is, this is the kind of game that stays on my shelf, that comes down once a week or once a month with a new twist, with a new group of characters, playing against hopefully different baddies based on that roll of dice in the loot phase, and it feels great and it feels fresh every time. Now, if I sat down and played it 5 times a week, it might start to get repetitive because it is that same sort of roll dice to activate, roll dice to activate, roll dice to activate kind of games. But that's not really a huge negative because, again, there is a lot of variability. And if you pause in between your plays and stretch out your plays a little bit more, I think this game has a lot of life in it. And also, this is definitely the kind of game that, if it does well, could easily be expanded with new characters, new battle books, and so on. So I'm excited to see more from this world, more from this system, more from this designer. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. I think that if you like these kind of dice-based combat games, this is one you should definitely give a look at. I will put the link to the Kickstarter down below in the description for you to do that. I hope that this video was, as always, was helpful for you, and if it was, I do ask that you please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon down below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.